I don't
In the
know.
literal heck are you doing?
What do you mean? I got taking my green energy drink here. Bobby, you ready for today?
Well, I'm ready. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Oh, I think they're ready too.
It seems like they're on already.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell's wrong with Jonathan? He's all cracked out or something.
They're drinking some green goop. Ugh, that's so gross.
It's called Bolo. So, but anyways, what's up, boys and girls? Jonathan Mercado.
Bob Hernandez.
Trying to lose weight, you know what I mean? It ain't working.
Is that the new thing for 2026?
Bro, I don't know what's in for 2026. I know that I do need to lose weight.
Nice.
I do need to eat better.
Nice.
I need to stop farting so much.
Yeah, that would hurt. That would help.
But anyways, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of our GoFast Facebook Live. Let's start with some housekeeping stuff. So, Bobby, we have a JVC Lightning Strikes deal.
Yeah, so one of the cool things, Johnny, that JVC just launched for 2026 is they've got their floating screen piece, the KZW 900. They just came out with a smoking deal on this, guys. Guys, call your GoFast sales rep. They can tell you what the deal is on this. Or go to www.gofst.com, punch in this unit, make sure that you have an account, a login and password, and you'll see the price on this right away.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, that unit. It's a floating screen that monitor actually tilts side to side, up and down. It's loaded with all crazy features. Maestro ready, Sirius XM ready, wireless CarPlay Android Auto, also could do wired CarPlay Android Auto, HDMI input. So it's loaded with features on a particular unit at a very aggressive price point. So if you guys are looking for, and it's a single DIN chassis too.
Oh, nice.
Which will fit in a lot of unique positions. So I say kits, like specifically Maestro kits, where it takes, like, say, the new Transit Connect, the brand new 2025 Transit Connect, where the kit is actually slouched down a little bit, and it points the kit down. So there being a single DIN chassis, it'll fit perfectly in there.
Nice.
And you could tilt the monitor up and at an angle so it stays straight. So kind of cool. Check out that piece. Then they also have.
Well, it's funny because you were talking about how the flexibility of this unit. Mm-hmm. Then we go over to those two direct replacement units that are open up cars that we couldn't do for years.
Yeah. Specifically, the one that comes to mind is Infinity Nissans. You know, those cars, everybody's been looking for ways to change the head units out, because we all know Infinity Nissan dash radios go bad. And when they go bad, the only solution you have is to buy an OEM one, or buy one of those cheap Chinese knockoff radios that really don't work well. So JVC has came up with their direct fit, the Apex kits, for multiple vehicles, which some vehicles will use the floating screen in that vehicle, and some will use a direct replacement of the Z800AW, the 8-inch screen, that fits right in the factory location, but gives you that aftermarket feel with aftermarket features. So like a wireless CarPlay, a wireless Android Auto, Bluetooth, you get HDMI input, Maestro compatible, so you get all the cool gauges on the head unit itself. You know, with K2 technology and all these radios, it's actually going to up the sound quality. Even if you have factory speakers, it will up the sound quality of the speakers. On top of that, multiple camera inputs. So you can do front camera, rear camera, side cameras, cameras in for the colonoscopy. You know, it'll do all the cameras, guys. So make sure you get a hold of your sales rep and ask them about the KWZ1000AW, the KWZ900, and the KWZ800AW with the Apex kits. You will be surprised how well all those kits work together.
And I tell you, JVC over the last 18 months, 2 years, has really stepped up their game. So, guys, if you're not on JVC, you're missing a boat, right? They're really coming out with some great technology. I still love the wax on, wax off feature. You don't have to touch the screen. You can raise the volume by.
Bobby, that's not a wax on, wax off feature. So Bobby brings up a interesting opportunity for all you guys to sell. So I know you guys are all looking for knobs in radios. You know, that's a big thing. Customers still want the knobs so that they can raise volume up and down. I don't know why, but they like the knobs. So because a lot of these companies are starting to use pretty much all the sizes on the screen itself,
sure,
every little inch of the screen. What JVC has done, and JVC does a very unique feature that nobody else does, is If you turn your finger clockwise, you turn the volume up. If you turn it counterclockwise, it turns the volume down, just like a knob. If you swipe 2 fingers forward, you track up. Swipe 2 fingers back, it's track back.
Right. I tried that wax on feature on my wife, like to lower the volume. It didn't work, and she pissed her off.
Oh my god!
Yikes!
Well, the cool thing also about the JVC is they have a new GUI when you're using Maestro, where it's not like anybody else's GUI. It's their own GUI where it shows you kind of like new features. Like if you're looking at this, the back of this box, you'll see that it's got a tilt car, tilt up and down, sideways. It looks very modern, very futuristic. That is what JVC's goal is, to be kind of different than everybody else, and they have absolutely accomplished it with these units.
They're absolutely fabulous. So, guys, get a hold of your GoFast sales rep. We've got a deal on the 900, the 1000s and the 800s. The direct replacements are in stock. We have the Apex kits. So, give your GoFast sales rep a call and make sure that you're on point with this.
Correct. Next thing we want to talk about is the Vinland Vision Demo Pro, and the buy 2 get 1 free has been extended till March 31st, guys. A lot of you guys have taken advantage of it. It's a great, like Bobby said on the last show, great demo piece that you put in your demo vehicle. You show the customers, exactly what the unit does. It is not, and I want you guys to completely take this out of your vocabulary. It is not the same as an Amazon or eBay Chinese unit. Absolutely not. They're the only ones that are Maestro certified. And anybody that knows Maestro knows that in order for you to be Maestro certified, you got to pretty much work. And let's just say those units work. They take all the cool features onto the Maestro unit, onto their units, which shows you the gauges, shows you the RPM, the doors, the tire pressure of your vehicle has it from factory. I could go on and on. They also, the cool thing about Maestro is if you have multiple cameras, like Hondas, for instance, if you have a side camera where on a factory radio, it gets triggered by your turn signal. Well, with the Maestro piece, you could either keep that feature going or trigger that side camera with a button press. You set up whatever button you want on your steering wheel, you press and hold it, and now you triggered that camera. That's a feature that nobody does except for Maestro.
Wow.
So, guys, definitely check out the Vinland stuff. The promo's still going on. Buy 2 units and you get 1 free. So you buy 2, and Bobby offered it last time. You get 30 days, keep it in your shop. Let's say you bought 2 Fords and 1, Dodge kit for your demo. And one of the Fords sells, but the other one doesn't. We'll take it back within 30 days, give you credit for it so you can get another Vinland radio. And that way you'll be able to have something to sell besides the 2 kits that 1 kit that didn't sell. Vinland
came hit the market a little late last year. So we ran the demo program, and a number of guys took advantage of it. But now we're going right into here we are. This will end right at the end of March, coming into the spring, guys. Now is the time. Take advantage of it. Put one in your display, put one in your vehicle. Have one to sell, have one to show, one to go. It's the best way to get it done. You get 1 unit free. Make sure that you take advantage of that. That free unit will make you money.
Correct. So make sure you call your GoFast sales rep to find out more details, or even one of your EDA partners, one of the EDA group members. If they're a group member, they're all a part of the same program. So make sure you talk to your EDA member to make sure, and you've got a lot of great distributors in that group that are just, we're just trying to make sure you guys get taken care of, and we're trying to make sure that this promo gets blasted all out to all the shops in the United States. So call your EDA member to make sure you get into this deal. Next thing I want to talk about is leveling up your showroom. A lot of you guys do need help on your showrooms, guys. I've been to a lot of shops that really don't have too many things on the sales floor. And then I've been to some shops that have a lot of things on the sales floor, but really no
stuff from the 80s, stuff from the 90s, stuff from 2000s.
There's been a lot.
We've seen those.
We've seen a lot of showrooms that have boxes that have washed away because of the sun, and there's no more color on the boxes. It's time to get rid of those. So with the Arctic Start and iDataLink promo we have going on, if you buy Arctic Start or iDataLink from GoFast, we will give you a mega display, which is a stand-up display that you can put remotes, which a lot of guys just use. There you go. It's right. Where the hell is it?
It's over there.
Right here. So you see those little holes at the bottom? Damn, Bobby, I'm like hitting you in the face with my finger. You see the little holes where the remotes go in? So a lot of guys have taken those their own remotes, like entry level remote, 4-button, 1-button, drone, 2-way LED, and then also an LCD screen. Put them on display, and they put price tags underneath it. So it's an easy sell. A lot of these guys go into your showroom floors. I personally abso-freaking-lutely hate going to a sales floor and seeing a bunch of product on the floor with no pricing. I really do. And that just, to me, it's like going to a retail store. You go to like a Walmart or a Target, and you see all this cool product on the shelves, but it ain't got no price on it. What are you supposed to guess how much it's supposed to be? Guys, please put pricing on all your products on your sales floor. It makes you more professional. B, it alerts the customer your pricing on those products. And C, it gets them, it's an added conversation, even if you're at MAP or MSRP.
Sure, you start high, right?
Yeah, you start high and you work your way down.
Right. If once you set the expectation, it's sitting there. They've got an idea. They're gonna look at what it's in there within their budget, and they're gonna ask you about that. But with the price, with the other units there, you've got the higher end, high line price. You can work down. You can do additions to it. And I like what you were saying about the display. You take those displays and you can literally customize by putting the remotes that you want. Just customizing it to what you sell, not what comes in, let's say, necessarily would come with the package.
Correct.
Put the remotes that you sell so that you're promoting what you sell, put prices on it, and then put that high-end price on there so that you get some leeway to move your way back down if you have to.
Correct. When I was a young salesman, that was a long, long time ago. I'm about Bobby's age, so eons ago pretty much. I was always taught top-down selling. Start at the top with the most expensive piece and let the customer talk you into, hey, I think that's out of my budget. Do you have something else? Then you start working your way down to what they feel comfortable at. Just remember, never be a pushy salesperson, but at the same time, you want to give them options. By giving them options, you'll be surprised. Let's say a basic remote starter, you're doing it for $350, okay? Customer wants better range, wants the 2-way like LED or LCD feature. You'll be surprised how easy it is to bump them up for $50 or $100 more just by having it on display. So I was taught, always start with like 2-way alarm remote starter. And they go, oh, well, I don't really want, an alarm. I could just go for a starter. Then you work your way down to 2-way LED starter. Then you got anything a little bit cheaper? Then you start with the basic unit. That is reality. It's top-down selling. That's how you make more money in your stores, guys. Well,
you make a great point. A consumer, and we take this for granted all the time. We talk. We'll talk. My buddy Dave says insider baseball, right? Because we know the product. We live this, so we take it for granted that everyone knows this. If you don't start from the top down, you're literally educating them because most consumers don't know what's available, and they may not know what they want. When you're talking about, a head unit, we talked about. I love the wax on, wax off feature. If you're not explaining that and showing it to them, and showing them the units that have that, as you're coming down, as you start at the top and have all those features, what's important to that person? We're talking about remote starts. What if that person goes to the gym every day? I park the car in my driveway. And I don't use my car I don't use it for this, or I don't use it for that, but I go to the gym and it's cold. I'm sweaty, it's cold. You want to start it, and you want to start it from far away, or you want to know that it started with a 2-way. You don't know what each person's going to use it, what their lifestyle is. If you don't give them all the options, you're never going to know.
Yeah, and you make a perfect example. You should see how many times I heard when I was in retail selling remote starters, oh, well, my car's right there outside the window. And I always used to tell them, okay, so they go, oh, do you have like 100-foot range remote starter, or do you have one that uses the factory remote? Guys, number one, the car's not always going to be outside the window. That's number one. Number two, you want to sell them range. Why? Because they're going to try to start it from their work area. Let's say they work in a 10th floor building, and they're going to try to start it down at, almost 150 feet away or 200 feet away. That car is not going to start with the factory remote. So you should always tell that to your customer. You know, that whole lock feature is cool for a grandma that doesn't go anywhere, like a Bob Hernandez that just go get milk and eggs, you know, uses the car once a week and then goes get milk and eggs. That's it. But Bobby has grown up, and Bobby actually travels now. You know, I've been pushing Bobby to go out more with me and, you know, hang out, get drunk, do some young teenage stuff that, you know, getting his heart going. So, you know, Bobby knows that now that factory remote starter isn't working the way it should. So he needs the range. So, you know, he's added drone or CarLink into his vehicle, and now he's getting unlimited range. Same with aftermarket remotes. You add the two-way remote LED, you get that 3,000 1-mile range, or you add the CarLink or Smart Start or even drone into your vehicle, depending on what remote starter you have in the vehicle. And now you add unlimited range. If you have cell service and you can pull your cell phone out just like every single one of your customers do, because some of them are glued with their phones, you know, just hit a start button and you start the car.
Yeah, you make a great point. If we're, you know, when we're talking about remote starts, if we're going to sell the lock, and that's the expectation of what a remote start is or what it does, the best salespeople for those basic entry-level remote starts is, guess who? The factory, because they come in the car and they have very little range and they have the limited feature sets. Mm-hmm. If we're going to fight in that space, those remote starts are built into the cost of the unit. It costs them $0. If we don't show the expectation of all the things that a remote start can actually do in the aftermarket, then you're not showing them the difference in value. So all things being equal, if it's in the price of the car, it costs them in their mind, costs nothing.
Well, that's true.
So if it costs nothing and it does everything exactly what I can get at the car stereo place in my neighborhood, well then I'll just get it from the factory. If they know what it really can do, what all the features like you just mentioned, two-way, LCD, you know, all types of communications. If you don't set that expectation, that's gonna be they're gonna go to the lowest common denominator, and that's buy from the factory.
It's funny you say that about the factory remote starter. So I had my neighbor, and this was actually 2 days ago. I was at her house hanging out, you know, her husband, just doing our usual thing at night, and she made a comment about the factory Jeep Wrangler remote starter, that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You have to hit the lock button and then you have to hit the remote start button twice. The car will beep once and it'll start. But you're limited to one start per ignition turn on and off.
Right. If you start it once, that's
correct.
It.
And then I see her doing this, the famous under the chin. You know, that doesn't work too well. And I'm like, well, you know, you got a neighbor that legit, this is what I do. This is what I install. This is what I sell. Why don't you have me install you an aftermarket remote starter? Well, she has an appointment this weekend for me to install one.
Nice.
And let me tell you, she's going to be very, very happy because she was always upset at that the range just absolutely sucks. She has to, you know, it only gets one try per ignition start. Not only that, she also mentioned that if she's low on fuel, it will not remote start.
It won't remote start.
So, guys, that's all limitations with the factory. That's all stuff that you have to tell your customers on why the factory remote starters suck. And this is a period where, you know, I've done this on the sales floor. I've played that game. I've played the mind game of telling them why the factory starter sucks and why you should put an aftermarket starter because of the benefits of this, that, and the third. Guys, you should be doing that on your sales floor because it will sell. It will sell you more starters.
That's 100%.
Now, next thing we want to talk about is, that's why I brought that Memphis speaker out. There is a Memphis competition going on to spruce up your showrooms with Memphis audio. So what is this competition, Bobby?
It's really simple, right? It's buy from Memphis product. Memphis went through a change last year of ownership. They have completed the change. They're stocked and they are ready to crush it in 2026. We want to start off the year start crushing it with them. What we've done is for every $100 that you spend in January on Memphis product, you're going to get an entry into getting 2 of the Memphis stools, right? They're Memphis bar stools. They'll look great in your showroom. They're branded Memphis. They're certainly would be a great addition to any showroom. Mm-hmm. So all you guys have to do is call your GoFast sales rep, place orders for Memphis product at the end of the month, probably sometime in February, first week of February. I think it's the 4th is our Facebook Wednesday. We'll do a drawing for people all the guys that have purchased Memphis in January. One of you guys is going to get these 2 stools shipped to you.
Well, it's funny because Memphis, like you said, Memphis has redeveloped and invigorated their whole lineup. They have some cool packages that I've actually sold quite a bit of those packages where it's 2 12s. The actual 12s of the Memphis light up. The logo at the top lights up RGB. You can set it up to whatever color you want. Not only that, it comes with an amplifier for those 2 subs and the box, which also lights up in RGB. And that's a lot of people that have it on the showroom. Shout out to I'm not going to say the shop name, but shout out to bringing this up to the shop. He literally told me, I have a whole bunch of different packages on my sales floor, different brands. And the most talked about package, believe it or not, is that Memphis package. How it lights up, how it sounds. It actually sounds very, very good. And just the price of the bundle, it really is aggressive, and it kicks the competition's butt. So, guys, that's a bundle there. Not only that, their speakers. Memphis has completely changed up their lineup with their speakers, their amps, pretty much anything. They came out with a new one. I just sold one yesterday to a classic car guy. They updated their, what I call the black box car audio. So for a lot of guys that have like older classic cars, these guys don't want to change their head units. They could care less about changing their head units. They want to keep it as factory looking as possible. Well, Memphis came out with a black box, which allows you to do AM, FM, Bluetooth on your cell phone. And it also allows you to add additional amps. It allows you to add, it's a 4-channel, 45 watt RMS amplifier that's built in, outputs of 2.5 volts to a subwoofer amp. So it's full control of the head unit, which is you can hide in the glove box, in the trunk, wherever. Just control it through your cell phone, and it comes with a little controller you can mount on the dash, so volume up, track up and down, forward, etc. Change sources, etc. on that little thing. It's cool because, like I said, classic car guys do not want anything seen. They do not want to change their head unit. They want to add futuristic, modern technology into their classic cars, but keep the aesthetics looking the same. So Memphis came out with that new piece, and I've actually sold 2 of them so far with the new piece. And it was for classic cars. And I think it's great for side-by-sides, ATV, UTVs, boats. You can use it on boats the same way. So I'm thinking about picking one up actually for my boat.
Oh, yeah, yeah?
Yeah.
The thing that I like about Memphis is, there's, first and foremost, their product sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always had, very, very, their woofers, their bass is deep, it's thick. It's always been that.
Thick?
And yeah. Doom, doom. Yeah, never mind.
You mean boomy.
All right, well,
thick is a different thing, buddy. I'm thick. You're thick. The woofers are not thick.
Well, the woofers sound thick. But on top of that, they've got the RGB lighting. They really make it look good. And it's funny, at times we've been in this business a long time. There's always been some companies that make great sounding audio products, and then there's always been these other companies that'll make stuff that lights up pretty and shines, and it's just got lights everywhere, and it's kind of aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Well, Memphis kind of bridges both of those. They sound great. They'll add RGB lighting to their, not just their marine audio, but their standard audio. It looks good. It's impressive. Guys, don't sleep on Memphis. They are coming up big this year.
Yeah, and guys, if you've ever been to like a Knowledge Fest or even our show, their booth is very flashy. They wear these cool shirts with the Memphis logos all over, and they got these gold chains. Yeah, you want to talk about a company, a modern company that's hip to the younger era, but also to the older generations like Bob. You know what I mean? So it's Memphis, and a lot of guys that have trusted my word when I tell them, try this amp out, try the sub out, try the speaker out. They also have came back and said, this thing sounded fantastic. I want to buy more. Let's, get me some more stuff. Guys, Memphis is on the forefront. They have earbuds that are
they're my favorite.
They're M-buds. Those things are absolutely my favorite too. They give you a ton of bass, which that's what lacks with a lot of earbuds these days. they have this M-Flow, which I just had Bobby turn it on. He was playing with it. He was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. It's a Bluetooth portable speaker with 2 bass response, so you'll actually get some pretty deep bass. You'll have the lights that go throughout the whole speaker. It pulses with the music. You know what I mean? It's pretty cool. And I tell Bobby, you know, this is the oh, sorry. Bobby's, see, as you can see, Bobby's still playing some 1970 music under pressure. So, hold on, let me turn that off. You know, and that's the point, is that it's modern, it's flashy, it's kind of like what people want in the modern day world. It's not expensive either.
No, they're priced right. You're going to make margin on this. It sounds fantastic. You're talking about them being modern and edgy. So at SEMA, Johnny, I don't know if you follow the show Stranger Things.
Yep.
So they have a Stranger Things van, right? One of the lighting vans that the CIA was using to undercover in the show. And as you open it up inside, we're talking about they've got their woofers all set up all on the side, and it's kind of got that black and then red glow from behind. So the red glow kind of reminded me of, as if you've been watching the show, that's where you'd find those portals where they would sneak through to the other side, right? They'd have to go through them, and it looked like that, but instead of it being a portal to another dimension, it was a portal to these woofers, and when this thing kicked, it was crazy. It drew a crowd. Nick, who's also a Stranger Things fan, had a life-size Gorgon. Life-size Gorgon in the booth. It was crazy. So they are the guys. They're edgy. They've got some stuff that looks good. They've got stuff that sounds good. They're coming up this year. We're going to be 100% behind them, trying to ride that wave with them. Guys, get on board with Memphis. You're not going to be sorry.
Correct. And it is available here at GoFast Solutions, and we have it all in stock. Now, pretty cool thing. Bobby's been kind of edging on this with all his Facebook posts. You know, he posted one up recently that I found kind of offensive because the animated character. Look at that. Look how fat he made me. Like, I know I'm fluffy, but
we put out the first one, and the first one was of you and I, kind of slim and thin, and our friend Nate Taliani ran it through ChatGPT and made 2 sumo wrestlers fighting each other. So I said, all right, I get it. We may not look like those thin guys, so I made these a little bit chubbier.
Yeah, look at the top. That's what it originally was. Then I get the second one, which I'm like, wow, Bob, I'm not that round. I'm round, but not that round.
Well, that's what we got, the before and after. You're on drinking that green goop. That's the before and after. So you just got to get to the before now.
Oh, yeah. Well, good luck to that. But it's pretty cool. So there's a competition going on between Bobby and I. We've put a couple of links out there. Make sure you vote, because the person that votes with the right person, you'll get on the wheel. And, let's say you vote for Johnny, because we know Johnny's going to be much smarter than Bobby. And if you vote for Johnny, you get on the wheel, and one lucky person is going to win some pretty cool. What is what do you?
Well, they're going to get entry into one of the MBCP certification programs, right? So they can level up their game. And guys, join us in this month-long search, right? We're trying to level up our business. We're trying to level up our knowledge. So we're taking the EV and hybrid certification program. While we're running it, we're getting a 25% discount for anybody that wants to take any program. Just go to mecp.com, use the promo code GoFastChallenge. It'll get 25% off of any program. And it's time to level up your business. It's 2026. We've got a new year. We want new things that we want to accomplish. One of those things should definitely be leveling up your game.
And getting 25% off, let me tell you, that's a huge discount. And it's only brought to you here at GoFast Solutions, guys. Take advantage of that. If you're in the business, you want to talk the talk and walk the walk like Bobby does. You definitely want to be MECP certified of any course that you have there. Even if it's the most basic one, guys, it actually puts some teeth into what you're talking about. It really does. It makes you seem like you know what you're talking about. That's the reason why older generations take their cars to car dealerships, not because it's quick, easy, because we all know dealerships are called stealerships for a reason. They see you as an older generation, especially a woman. And the first thing they tell you is, oh, you go in for an oil change, and somehow they tell you need like $2,800 worth of work. You need brakes, you need oil, you need timing belt. Even though your car has only like 10,000 miles, you need a timing belt, for God's sakes, or water pump, or cabin filter, which they charge you like $600 to change, even though you can buy a cabin filter for $10 and change it yourself. But reality is it just gives that consumer the feel of that what you're doing. Same with the MECP certification, guys. It makes the consumers feel that they can rely on your shops to work on their cars. The inner city guys will do what they do, but the higher end shops, like the guys that are viewing this video, understand that in order to level up and beat the competition that are doing remote starters for $100, you have to show something that will make you different than the competition. I've heard nightmare stories of guys taking their cars to these inner city shops that really just got into the business, don't have really a kind of a concept of what remote starters and stuff is, and really jack up a car, like make it go to the dealership, cost the consumer $1,000, $2,000. If they blow a BCM, forget it, 4, 5, 6 plus, depending on the vehicle that they put the remote starters in. And to me, that is my pride and joy. You don't go to the rim guy and you're trying to buy these Lexani wheels or, some other brand name wheels that are super ultra high end. I've never seen anybody go, oh, you want $10,000 for those wheels? Can you give it to me for $1,500? They'll be, what they actually, and it's funny, people brag about spending $10,000 on wheels. They really do. And they don't haggle with the wheel place. They don't. So why would you mark yourself down as a haggling shop if they don't do it with other places? Mechanics, they don't haggle with mechanics. Mechanics price is their price. You blow up a motor, $10,000, $15,000. It is what it is. You either pay it or you don't want to do it. Same with rim places. I've said it over and over again. You buy these 10, 15. At one point I was into wheels real big, and I got some very expensive Giovanni's. They cost me over $18,000 for the 4 wheels with the tires. And I used to brag about how they cost me $18,000.
Good Lord.
And I didn't haggle with the guy. I just paid him with a smile on my face. And that's the reality is, why are we nickel and diming each other, guys? We need to stop doing that and start giving value to our business. Why is the dealerships could get $180 an hour and half these shops are getting $50 an hour? Why aren't you matching the dealership price? People pay $180 an hour. They really do. They pay a diagnostic fee of an hour for $180, but yet some of you guys are giving diagnostic for free. Charge accordingly. This is what makes big shops successful. This is what I'm trying to convert little shops to start thinking outside the box to make more money. So level up with MECP certification, guys. This is your chance, your opportunity to say you can box with the big boys.
I think you and I have gone to enough Knowledge Fest, SEMAs, CESs over the years. The 12-volt community is small. Mm-hmm. It's a small community. When you go to Knowledge Fest and you start walking the floors of Knowledge Fest, it's like it's walking with the mayor. I can't go 5 feet without Johnny having to shake somebody's hand, hug somebody, because it's a small community. If when it comes to MECP certification, if you're in this industry, you know what it is. You recognize it immediately. This is the certification in our industry. That's what we have. If you're not MECP certified, it's not like there's a competing certification. Oh well, you know what? I'm certified by Fingerhut or something that I can use this fork. There is no other certification. This is what sets you apart. If you're a business owner and we're, like you mentioned, a higher end business, and you're not sitting there looking to haggle on price, you're trying to sell value. I've got 2, 3, 4 MECP certified technicians. That your car is safe with us. We know what we're doing. That's why you pay a little bit more to come to my shop, because I have MECP certified installers. If you're an installer and you're you're building your career and you're at a shop, you get yourself MECP certified. So when it's time for you to either move on, move up, maybe you're moving out of town. We use that example a ton of times. And it's such a small community here, let's say New England, that if you're an installer and you need to move from one place to another, you'll probably, there's a good chance that they know of you or may know you directly. But if you go to Tennessee, nobody knows you. How do you come in and how do you profess that you're a professional in this industry if you don't have something that says, hey, this guy's done at least the basics to get past this certification? You go to Tennessee, you're so that you're MECP certified, and now you've got that leg up on the next guy. And you and I have had, whether it's installers or even office people that'll walk in here and tell you that they know, during interviews, they know how to do this, the other, they know Excel, they know how to, and you get them in front of a computer and they're lost.
Or they know installation, or they know sales, and they don't know nothing. They don't know product. They don't know what the basics of 12 volt is. You know what I mean? They don't know what a positive, red, yellow, negative, black, blue, etc. What that is. Guys, the sad part is that our industry, like Bobby said, is small. So you want to level up to the people, what I call the street merchants, where it's the ones that are posting on Facebook Market that really you've never heard of, but they're posting up these cheap prices and they're doing some of the most hack work I've ever seen in my life.
Your boy can do it cheaper.
Yeah, definitely my boy can do it cheaper. And I really haven't brought that up in a while just because, it's something that I thought it was funny when I first started it. This goes
years ago,
15, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? And the sad part is that it's still going on today as we speak. You know what I mean? These street merchants are just hacking these cars up and bragging about how well they are. I've seen some posts on Facebook where it's like, yeah, professional installation. Then they show a picture. They got wires everywhere and just taped up with duct tape. I'm like, why would I even take my car there? Reality is that, how do you compete against those people? I'll tell you how. Get MECP certified. Tell a story on why you've been around for 15, 20 years. Tell a story on why you have overhead with rent, employees, material, etc. And sell yourself, guys. Stop letting brands try to sell you. A lot of people don't even know half the brands that you go into the shops for. You really don't.
We know them.
We know them.
The guys watching know them, but the consumer doesn't.
Yeah, and then you have to sell yourself. You are the brand, guys, not the brand itself. You are the brand. Why would anybody buy JVC over no-name brand radio off of Amazon? Why would anybody buy a Memphis audio subwoofer and amp versus a no-name brand off of Amazon, eBay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because you're getting, not only are you getting quality from the brand, but you're also getting you. You are going to be the front lines of your customers. If they have an issue, they're going to go to you. You're going to fix it for them. No questions asked. 1-year warranty. I'll make sure it gets taken care of. Versus, good luck buying it on Amazon or eBay. You send it back. Might get back to you in 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, maybe a month, 2 months. And, unfortunately, those customers a good shop will charge for installation and would charge to take out and then charge again to reinstall. Staying with no warranty. So, guys, do your customer service. Sell yourself. You are the brand. It's not the brand itself. It's you. So the shops that are, Bob's Car Stereo, Bobby doesn't know, John's car stereo from here to the corner. I'm a hacker. I freaking rape and tape all day long. You got duct tape slinging here and there. And Bobby's a professional. Bobby now tells him, hey, look at my work. You guys should always have a book or images that you can show customers of work you have done to make them feel this is my work. This is how clean I am. Or even have a demo car to show them at your shops. Those other shops, John's Car Stereo, me, I don't have a demo car. I don't even have a demo picture. I could show you something on a cell phone, but is it my install? Who knows? But regardless sell yourself. You are the brand. And let me get off my shoebox because here we go again.
Yeah, well, thanks to Chris Beulah for putting this together. Chris has been a friend to GoFast and almost like a mentor. We've told the story about how we got involved with doing MECP certification, and it's all because of Chris. Chris is really, paving the way forward for all of us. So shout out to Chris.
Yeah, he's a personal friend, and on top of that, he's also a great MECP owner. Not only that, he gave us a challenge, and we the GoFast team took the challenge and ran with it. And every single one of the GoFast sales team is MECP certified product specialist.
Every one of us.
Yeah, that tells you the dedication that we have to you guys and the dedication we have to our industry. We're a family that's close knit together because we always hang out with each other, but we want to make sure you guys are taken care of. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Sorry for going on my rant again.
Well, we'll see you next week, guys. And vote for me. I'm gonna be studying this weekend.
Yeah, Bobby will be studying, but now will he learn what he's studying is the question.
I'll be studying, Johnny. Watch out, baby. Watch out.
Later, guys. Have a good one.